Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Pirillo, and you are listening to Stream Safe music from the Jedi Survivor, not soundtrack, but I guess the game, the music that played when you were in Pyloon's Saloon. I always thought, like, in playing the game last week, I thought, I wonder if this music's available in the playlist. It is. It was. It shall be up on in pretty much any streaming service you use, and so there shouldn't be any DMCA takedown notices because I'm always looking for good stream safe music. So the music that you hear right now is a relatively new bed, at least for this stream that I'd uploaded. I basically recorded because I couldn't get the MP3s to download. I just recorded it on a system without playing any other sounds, and then compiled and compressed an MP3. And it's basically a playlist that lasts around an hour, and it's rather it's a very eclectic mix of artists that every time I went into that area in a game, the music always kind of caught my ear. I'm like, I like this music, it's pretty jamming. And it makes sense that it was stream safe, if only because they knew that people would be playing the game and likely streaming the gameplay. I didn't get flagged for anything, at least on Twitch. I didn't get any takedown notices or the like. So I'm very glad. Now the music style, in case you're wondering, in Star Wars, this type of music, Glendon's smiling. It's jizz. Jizz, and Toxic's going for real, y'all. I like that's what it's called in Star Wars. Like it's
yep,
straight up. That's the music style.
That's what it is.
In fact, and if you like playing jizz, you are known as a jizz whaler. So, Figure and Dan and the modal nodes, and you know Figure and Dan.
Yes,
this is
yes.
Figure and Dan. Here, let me. Do I dare pull that down there? Here, give me a second. Like I've got some. Keep my Biff close by. Figure and Dan. Oh wait, that's not Figure and Dan here. Figure and Dan. No, that's not Figure and Dan.
That's it. Nothing.
Okay, this is him. Okay, Figure and Dan here. A Biff. Figure and Dan and the modal nodes, or jizz whalers. Max Rebo, this guy here, although he shrunk down at 50% size, I bronzed Max Rebo. This is a Wexter micro, not a mini, a micro. And here, let me swap over. Go a little larger here, just for a second. Max Rebo is a jizz whaler. Very well-known jizz whaler. So that's the type of music that you're listening to. There's the Lego set I put together. I think it
was put together. It was put together, folks.
It was put together. But the fire pops out. It's on fire. That was the set I did. That was the fun I had while I was not jizz whaling. So thank you for tuning in to the live broadcast. If you are tuned into the live broadcast, if you're not, okay. If you're watching the archive, that's awesome. I'm not sure exactly who's tuned into the archive. I'm archiving. I mean, if only for argument's sake, if only to say, oh, well, yeah, we got a podcast. It is kind of like a podcast. We'll talk about jizz, Lego, and tech. I mean, this is come on, that's diversity, as far as I'm concerned. And I got a
very
beer.
Diverse, very diverse.
I've got a good beer. I was talking about it even before the beer, though, so don't get any ideas. It's a nice old Rasputin Imperial stuff. I was in the store. I'm like, every couple of weeks or so, I'm like, I haven't had a beer in a bit, and then I just grab like a 4-pack or whatever. Although I can only, with this beer, I can only have like one. If I have two, it's of the old Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout. It is typically not a good time. Like it's a good time.
Start sounding like a Russian after your second one.
It's good time for maybe hour, and then oh no, you wake up. Oh, your stomach feels tight in knots. Oh, not good. Anyway, yeah. So I'm sorry for offending all the Russians listening. None of you. I'm currently printing, Glenn was asking the filament, but I'm currently printing some challenge coins that I made up for our daughter's school for Staff Appreciation Day. I don't think any of them know that they're going to get them, but I'm going to have to whip through quite a few over the course of the weekend. So that's what I'm going to be slinging for the next little while. But yeah, we've got some tech stuff to cover. Not a lot compared to other days this week. It's Friday, so it could typically be a slow news day. But I thought it was interesting to see New York's AG proposing the Crypto Regulation, Protection, Transparency, and Oversight Act, or Crypto, CRPTO, seeking broader enforcement authority over crypto companies. This is kind of long overdue, if only because of all the grifting. It's been an interesting progression, actually. I've seen, when crypto was all big and everything, you just got this feel from a certain group of people that they were like on the cutting edge, but you could tell that there was an agenda. Then NFTs came about, and the same kind of people skated to that. And now a lot of those same people are skating to AI. It's just interesting to me to see that. I'm fascinated certainly by AI software. I was using it today. I was using Bing's image creator because I stopped paying for a Midjourney subscription just because I couldn't figure out where am I going to use this? Where's it going to work for me? What as much as I enjoy generating images, for $20 a month, I'm like, unless I can figure out, well, how does that fit? It's difficult to say. In fact, look, the headline right now: Amazon's working on AI tool to generate photos and videos for merchants' ads. So that's happening. Generative AI is a big deal. And it's going to empower creators, it's going to empower businesses, it's going to empower everybody. So anyway, I've seen a lot of the same type of enthusiasts escape from crypto grifts to NFT grifts. I'm not saying AI is a grift, but it's just been an interesting progression to see them move that direction. And I'm not exactly sure why. Someone had explained, it's because the other technologies made it seem like it was simple, quick, make a quick buck. Well, maybe that's the case. Although I can't figure out how to make a quick buck with anything, so I'd be the last to get on board any of that. So I think it's good that regulation comes down the pike, if only because as much as crypto may not be as furiously discussed as it was maybe a couple of years ago, I'm glad that has dissipated, because quite honestly, I'm not saying it was stomach turning, but I just kind of got sick of seeing it. Just I'm not interested. I'm not a financial dude. I'm not, really. I believe that something like crypto is valuable. Yes, theoretically, as long as you get enough people to believe in it. Hence, how NFTs and crypto attracted so many grifters. Because the same reason. Not to say that everybody involved with crypto or blockchain or NFT or any of that was in it for a grift at all. I'm not saying that. That's not even close to what I'm saying. But to see this kind of regulation come down the pike, I'd rather see it sooner rather than later. And of course, they've been talking about regulating AI as well. I'm not sure that's going to be as easily done. The regulation of AI. If only. Go ahead.
I don't think so either, because you can run it your own instance.
Not just that, the open source nature of it, and we'll come back to that in this discussion, or potential open source nature of it, not to be confused with OpenAI, which was originally going to be open source, and I guess they shifted to close it. But the fact that a rogue nation state could take the same foundation and do whatever the hell they want with it. They're not bound to any ethics,
right?
Any rules and regulations. So that, like I said, with AI, I just don't think you can shove the shit back in the horse. Like it's out. That's for better or for worse. I don't think that's something that can easily be controlled. Or guided, certainly, but at least domestically, or with any nation that would care to be a partner in one way, shape, or form. But I just don't think by its very nature it's going to work, or I don't think it's going to work as well. And I'm fine. I'm not someone who is. I'm okay with regulation. I'm fine with it. I'm not one of those who's like, oh, get the government out. I'm like, no, there are times the government needs to be in. Absolutely. If only for our own safety, general safety.
Right.
But as far as AI goes, and the development of, and the guardrails for, again, I got to think of the dystopian future where we may be playing by the rules, but that doesn't stop a criminal. There's not even if there's gray area, right? It just doesn't stop somebody else.
Still feel like there's going to be a Wild West element to it somehow, even with the regulations that they put in place.
Well, that's the thing. There will be. Like it's a guarantee, and this is not. I don't think. I'm not trying to prognosticate, if only to say I told you so. I don't think it's a heavy lift to believe that something like that is exactly what's going to happen. So I'm all for regulation and guidance, with the caveat, knowing full well that not everyone's going to be regulated or be guided. This was interesting. According to a source, there's a leaked April 2023, so like last month, an internal document from a senior software engineer at Google arguing that open source AI will outcompete both Google and OpenAI. OpenAI, if you're not familiar, is the company that has brought forth DALL-E, which is what powers Bing image generation. Not as good as Midjourney at this time, but OpenAI also known for ChatGPT. So this is a suggestion, basically a critique, asserting that Google is going to lose its edge, and it's going to lose its edge quickly because of its toxic doom. To loop, again, to dovetail, you set that stage perfectly. You set the stage perfectly for this part of that conversation. Like, you can run it on your laptop, right? You can run it on your system, and you've effectively eluded, that these, anybody or any entity that might have established a centralized operation, and it can run maybe not as powerfully, but you can get the job done locally. And so open source is going to continue to come into its own, and especially as this race kind of heats up, in seeing that at some point we won't necessarily need to rely as much on those external services. Right now, I don't think it's practical. Like I use Diffusion B on the desktop for stable diffusion, and it kind of works okay. But honestly, I was much happier. Oh my God, so much happier with Midjourney. And now that Bing has the image generator, that's what I use. Like the Star Wars fun stuff that I was posting today, I did like a Jabir the Hutt, and a Boba Fettuccine, and a Darth Vader, and a Bananakin Skywalker. It was just, fun puns, Star Wars. I even did an Idaho Jones. Sorry, I heard a kid just babbling there. Do you know what the Idaho Jones look like, Glendon? Can you take a guess?
A potato.
Potato, but I couldn't get the potato to work, so I ended up using mashed potatoes. So it's mashed potatoes with fedora on a plate, and so it's Idaho Jones. I'm gonna do an Iowa Jones. It's gonna be an ear of corn with fedora. Iowa Jones.
There you go.
Use each state for what it's known for. If there could be an Indiana Jones, why not an Idaho Jones? But that's the beauty of those types of services, right? You can just go there, you give it what you want, and then it turns something out. I tried Diffusion B here on the desktop, and Stable Diffusion, I'm glad it's there, and maybe initially I was like, yeah, this works, but now Midjourney is just, it blows them all away. And the Bing image creator, it stands well enough on its own. It's not awesome, but Midjourney is definitely the go-to. Like once you've played with it, you're kind of spoiled with Midjourney. There's a hook that you can get put into the Discord server, and maybe I should ask Marcus to help set that up, because I'd be creating this stuff more frequently. I don't know why, apart from just why did I do an Idaho Jones? I don't know, because I could, because it was fun. I am not going to try to generate an image of jizz whaling though. That is one thing I'm not going to try.
No, please.
I don't even think it'll let me. I mean, Stable Diffusion might let me, but I don't think I can get away with that. If I go to Midjourney, I'd get banned.
Yeah, the world's not ready
I'm
for
like,
that.
it's a Biff thing. It's a Star Wars thing. They jizz whale. When you smartphone shipments declined 14% year over year, 7% quarter over quarter globally. Samsung declined 19%, Apple 2%, Xiaomi 22%, Oppo 10%, Vivo 18%. You know, and I feel the smartphone gold rush is over.
Mm-hmm.
Google, I don't even think made the mark. That's how few Google Pixels were sold. Like, I think Google sold. Let's see here. Last year, Google sold three Google Pixels. Yeah, I have one of them.
3 whole pixels.
Yeah, I have one of them. The Google CEO has another. And another one I think went to MKBHD. So those were the 3 people who own Google Pixels. Didn't even crack the top 10, I'm sure. Or it did, if only because they're not even 10 manufacturers anymore. So well, there are, just not as well known. So I feel that, and everyone's got a different way of use case and what they're interested in, but they're good enough. Like 2 years ago, they're good enough. Like back in the beginning with new smartphones, yeah, there were pretty big advances generation after generation, but that really started to level out a few years ago. And I feel like even moving from, I had an iPhone, what was it? iPhone, did I have the 13? I had the 13 up from the 8. I went from the 8 to the 13. That was a leap. But the 13 to the 14 wasn't as much of a leap, apart from the dynamic island being a pretty big differentiator. Most people aren't going to see that. They won't see the difference. So I just don't feel that, or I'm not seeing that people are just needing to upgrade. They're fine with having a phone, just like a computer. They're fine with having a computer or a phone, when the computer is a phone. Or phone, I should say, is a computer. And sticking with it for 3, maybe 4 years. I'm not, as far as phones are concerned, I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that's going to upgrade year over year, because it's like, this is the thing that's always on me.
Right, that's your primary device.
It really is. I mean, apart from this system, which is an M1 Mac, and it's great. It's so good. I'm like, I didn't even bother to think about the M2, and even the M3 coming down the pike eventually. I'm like, well, what's it going to offer? Like, what what dramatically different thing is going to happen? Thank you, Mine, for resubscribing. It's very appreciated. In the middle of TLDR, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And once again, thank you for paying for my copy of Jedi Survivor. What are you apologizing for? Don't ever apologize for supporting me. I don't care when you do it. You can do it in the middle of the night. I just don't have a chance to thank you in the middle of the night. I'll be asleep. I'm not gonna. Although sometimes I do leave the alerts on accidentally, and like it'd be 3 a.m, like. Like, oh, something happened. I'll get to it soon. I'll get to it when I wake up. Yeah, so I think that's what's happening there. Is people just don't need to upgrade. I've upgraded consistently for the cameras, and I got to tell you, if I had a chance, I shot a photo the other day with the Samsung device, and I really was not happy with it. Like, it was, and I should have gone with it into in night mode, and I didn't. It was the shot that I took when we went to Guardians of the Galaxy, but I did not. Unfortunately, I did not turn on night mode when I handed the camera over. So my hand, as it was up, was HDR'd because the background behind it was HDR'd, and it was like really, and then the faces were, it was not a good shot. I mean, it was a shot, I'll say that, but Samsung did an absolute piss poor job with that shot. Like, it's ghastly. So I should have toggled night mode in the photos that we took, and I just didn't. I should have, but I didn't. I don't always flip into that mode in low light situations. But can't go back. I don't think someone, I'm sure, with far more skill could go in and clean it up and improve it in measurable ways. In fact, there is we were talking about smartphones and shipments and stuff. there's a piece of software called Galaxy Enhanced X that's available only right now for the Samsung S23 Ultra. And select your picture to edit. I'll pull up that photo in question. And then what you can do here is you can turn on, it'll do like magic, like HDR, and then like you see the comparison of like even more HDR, which I don't necessarily want. And you can toggle how it works. You can brighten the shot, and this uses it onboard on system AI. Do all this, including fixing blur. So like I had a couple photos with Jedi and my dad where she was moving slightly or he was moving slightly, and I did a fix the blur, and it actually improved. It actually cleaned up the shot of it. So this is the thing I wanted to check, just by going in and fixing the blur, even though I wouldn't say that there's a ton of blur here, there's a bit of noise, and I feel like if I go in between these two, I can apply the edit, and it's slightly better. It's still a little less quality than I would have liked, but just going in and using AI on device, right now this is only, like I said, it's only available on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. And in doing the sharpen, what's interesting is that it actually increases and improves. Maybe it doesn't sharpen it, but it improves the color and the saturation. HDR looks, just as bad as it did before. You can even do an auto magic thing, and it auto improves. This is currently available for free on the S23 Ultra, and I think it's going to be rolling out. But this is what I'm talking about. So you can't really see necessarily at that angle, but like this is what I'm talking. My hand, and it's not going to show up very well here, but my hand, because the background here was really bright, and it was trying to get the foreground on the background, it took my hand as a part of that image in the background. So it super HDR'd my hand. So it looks really, my hand looks very awkward there versus more natural there. It looks fine there because the background really didn't need that much. It didn't need any HDR. But to its credit, it did bring out, it didn't blow out the highlights of that image, but it overprocessed my hand, unfortunately. So that is the only anomaly that I would that I see in here. That's what I was talking about. So that's the type of thing that typically only leading edge smartphones will get the newer features, and then they'll roll downhill to the older phones. One of the reasons why I typically go to I won't be caught. I don't think I'll ever be caught in the cycle of no, I'm not going to upgrade, because there's always going to be some improvement, some bump, some speed thing. Very rarely has it not been the case. The only case was moving the Pixel 4 to the 5 would have been a downgrade or a side grade at best. That was the only time that I can think of. So yeah, that's me in smartphones. But this doesn't surprise me, and that would be my, just without looking too deep into the data, it adds up. It makes sense. An independent researcher's data shows that out of the 150,000 Twitter Blue subscribers, 150,000 in November, Glendon, how many do you think are still subscribed to Twitter Blue? This is how many do you think of 150,000? Just choose a number. This is a jelly bean in the jar. Toxic Doom, you're gonna have to guess too.
I have a number.
How many? How many fingers am I holding up?
8K.
8,000. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess 20% left.
20% left.
So 80% left. They didn't renew their.
Okay. So Glendon, you were closer because it's 68,000. So less than half of the people who were paying for Twitter Blue in November are paying for it now. So it's lost almost, not quite, it lost 80,000 paid subscribers between November, when shit was hitting the fan, and today, now that all the quote-unquote blue checks, legacy blue checks are gone. So that was just, but it was, I'm not shocked. This doesn't shock me. Not at all. I think the whole idea of like paying for Twitter just to get a blue check mark was just a dumbass idea. And not to call you a dumbass if that's what you wanted, but it was just, that's not the value. It was never the value. Like ascribing this status to this badge made no sense whatsoever. That wasn't the reason for it to exist. Like if Elon would have come in and said, okay, now everybody can be verified. You just need to provide a form of government ID. You need to do this. You need to do that. I'm like, okay, well, cool. That works for me. I would have zero pushback on that. Zero.
Because that's actual verification.
It's actual verification as to now, which is just it's a total shit show.
Yeah.
Like if you look at mentions, the blue checks. Sorry, I refuse to call them verified users. The blue checks are automatically surfaced, and they are typically not. I'm casting aspersions. Generally speaking, not necessarily cream of the crop. They're the people who are looking to buy status, typically. So the people who are typically, and that's not all, because there are people who are legit, they got it, and they bought it, and that's what they want. That's great. Knock yourselves out. Not going to cast judgment. Never going to say I'm not going to do it ever. Never. I won't. I've gone on record over and over and over again saying, I'd be happy to pay for Twitter Blue.
Mm-hmm.
But give me something. Give me something apart from a half-assed edit tweet, right? I can't even get Twitter to work well now for free. So why would I pay more, right? I'm not hearing anything that would have me driving to work. Yeah. So if Elon wants us to pay $8 a month, make the service worth $8 a month. Because right now, so this is my concern with this. This is my concern. Yeah. So yeah, what about 10K character tweets? Yeah. See, that's not that. Who cares? That's a long. Okay, a blog post. There you go. Answering polls. Okay. Again, who cares? I don't. I'm not interested personally. You might care. Sorry, I don't. It's not enough of a value to me at all. Now, this is the problem with this. Elon's not making near the amount of money he wants to make with it. So now he's going to double down instead of capitulate. He's going to effectively go even further down this rabbit hole and restrict even more features, which is going to only drive people away more than they've already been driven away.
Yeah.
Or he's going to paywall certain things that weren't worth getting for free, rendering the service even more useless. So he has no fucking clue what he's doing. I don't care what any person says about this guy, this billionaire, quote unquote, genius, because he's got money and he was born into wealth. He's smart, because his family's rich. Therefore, vicariously, he's smart. That's how it works. I don't make the rules, right? If you have money, you're smart, because that's how it works. Like, if you don't have money, you're not smart. That's unfortunate. I don't know what to tell. By the way, that's sarcasm that I'm laying down there. That's like heavy sarcasm. So, the guy has no idea what he's doing, dude. None whatsoever. Like, everyone's going, oh, he's genius for charging this, and everybody in this, like, yeah, but it's not gonna work, dude. It's not gonna. Now the numbers are sitting there, right there, staring at you in the face. It is clear he has no idea what he's doing, and he's going to continue to not have any idea what he's doing. So I lament what's happening, because I enjoyed Twitter. I still do. I have to think twice about what I share there, as opposed to, say, Mastodon or Blue Sky. I got a Blue Sky invite today. But I gotta tell you, I'm not that impressed with Blue Sky. I'm grateful that Scott Beal had sent an invite for me, but compared to Mastodon, yeah, I'm not sure it's there. And some people push back on Mastodon, but I like Mastodon a lot. I mean, I feel like even with, the amount of people that might follow in respect to others, like, there's no algorithm, there's no ads. I just feel like it's a better place to kind of build a foundation. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have as much mass appeal today as it could or should. But Blue Sky, right now, it's very early days. I'll say that. It's like Blue Sky is more a Twitter alternative than Mastodon is. Mastodon is more like blogging, a mishmatch of blogging and Blue Sky. I was like, oh, everyone's using it. Sorry, not everyone. A lot of people that I might have followed were using Blue Sky, and I popped on. They released an Android client, which is kind of not janky, but it's not great. It's fine. But this is not, Blue Sky is not going to pull people. If Mastodon didn't pull people away from Twitter, Blue Sky certainly ain't going to do it. But Twitter continues to, I feel, stumble where it doesn't need to stumble, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it's a day that ends in Y, so there's me talking about AI and Twitter. On a slow news day. Yeah, I thought that was fascinating. Amazon's expanding Inspire, its TikTok-like video and photo feed in the shopping app that lets users buy from influencer and brand content to all U.S. customers. So I'll subscribe to a Star Wars thing. How do I? My question is, how do I become a Star Wars influencer? I'm already an Apple influencer.
Thanks.
Absolutely, Merge Lab. I'm already an Apple influencer. In the sense that I've got Glendon spreading the good word of the best apple in the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. The Cosmic
Crisp.
Yeah.
Although Honey Crisp and Cosmic Crisp kind of, I mean, they kind of jockey for position in my palate. But I am an Apple influencer. I have brought introduced the concept of Cosmic Crisp apples to a wide array of people, and that's the kind of apple that I like to promote. I'm all for Apple. Cosmic Crisps, Honey Crisp. Yeah. Yes.
No, I'm with you. They're great.
Good.
I've eaten so many pounds of them within the past 2 months.
They're so good.
I always try to find them on sale. Right now, I'm stuck with Fiji. God dang it, I did it again. Fuji. Fiji's the water. Mm-hmm. Fuji's the apple. And Fuji is like a very distant, very, very, very distant. Like, I got nothing else. But is it? I think what I don't like about Fuji is not necessarily the flavor. The flavor's okay. It's the texture. Like, Cosmic Crisps are just juicier, right? Like, Honey Crisps are just juicier and different texture. The crispness to it, right? It's not as thick, so it's kind of got an airy texture, crispy texture, of course. Hence the crisp in Cosmic Crisp. Here I go, being an Apple influencer again. Oh, I'm gonna get you to buy Apple.
Tell you what, when one of my local stores had them on sale 1 week for 99 cents a pound, I bought like 14 or 15 pounds. They were all gone in 2 weeks.
I'm telling you,
totally worth it.
Right now, we've got a 99-cent buy, but they're Pink Ladies. Pink Ladies aren't bad, but I put them in the same class as a Fuji. Like, if there's nothing else, because I'll buy. You see, sometimes when I do IRL in the stream, I'll go and look for the discounts, like the discount apples, because I can get like 3 for $1. Not 3 pounds for $1, but actually like 3 apples. Like, there may be a Bruise or a Mark. And I'm fine with that. I feel American consumers are shy away from imperfections. I'm like, and I'm okay with that. Y'all keep shying away from those imperfections, because that saves me money.
Yeah. I'm fine with the bruise on my apple.
I'll take it. I'll cut it off. I'm like, I don't care. It's just a bruise. It's not going to kill me, unless, of course, I find out that bruise is I'm going to read an article tomorrow in The Verge, like, bruised apples cause cancer. I'm like, God.
God, it got me.
Table flip. Rage quit. So, okay, I'm done talking about Apple, okay? I'm done talking about Apple for now. But I will say, for Granny Smith's, for an Apple, still, I don't know if I prefer Granny Smith's. Used to be my go-to. Granny Smith, I very much enjoy, especially in an apple pie. But they were quickly sidelined as soon as I had a Cosmic Crisp. Like, oh, man. It's kind of like going from, it's like going from Windows XP to Mac OS. Like, oh. Windows XP service. No, that's Fuji, really.
Right.
Although, like, delicious, I hate delicious apples.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah, they're not good.
All other apples, they're dead to me anyway now. It doesn't matter.
Mushy apples are the worst. I if it's like I bite into an apple, like mush, like I'm
All
like,
other apples are inferior.
it may taste fine, but it's just it's the texture that just apples are about flavor and texture certainly, but it's the texture I feel goes a long way. And speaking of Apple, there's a headline scrolling across the screen right now. Bridge used to be known for its iPad stuff. It's apparently not paid staff salaries or fulfilled orders since January 2023. Bridge used to be known again for its iPad keyboards, third party, like hugely popular. Like it's a known quantity. Like as soon as Bridge, that's the iPad keyboard. So apparently, they got new, Sherlock's. Apple had a better keyboard, built-in keyboard for its iPad. Maybe not as affordable, but still, that it doesn't surprise me.
No.
It's hard when you build your entire business model on top of somebody else's. It's very difficult. Very difficult. So yeah, apparently, Bridge. If you got a Bridge, they probably ain't gonna be making many more bridges anymore. I can't remember whether I ever tried one. Honestly, and I gotta tell you, I miss the idea of using an iPhone and an iPad. I really genuinely do. As much as I'm into Android, it's not. I miss using them just because the ubiquitous nature of the prevalence of iOS,
Yep.
right? But I can't do it. It's not the hardware that holds me back. It's the software. So I'm looking forward very much, not just to hear what happens with Google I/O and the Pixel Fold coming down the pike here in the next couple of weeks, next week, the 10th, and we'll do a live reaction here too. But Apple and WWDC to hear what we're going to see in the next iPhone. Very much looking forward to that. Now, Mystery Goat is just wrong. He likes soft texture apples. No, you're wrong.
That's disgusting. There's no other way around that.
Hang on, you're gonna hear another plonk come in. Mystery Goat's gonna join. Like now.
That's fine. Your point is mute.
I accidentally bought a patch of Cosmic Crisp organic apples, and they weren't the same. The texture was it was almost like eating.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I've learned that it may say Cosmic Crisp, but it's got to come from a certain orchard. To know, hang on. Well, what the hell? Sorry, I see a Tron headline. I had to stop. What did it say?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
It scrolled by real quick. Google Bard now open for workplace accounts. I don't have a workplace account. Tron Legacy. What is this? It's a Tron. It was a link. Tron trade. Graphics team was deep in production. Oh, this must have been a Hacker News link. I guess they were showing how the graphics were generated. Oh, neat. It's a neat little article on this here. What's it titled? gmunk.com. gmunk.com. Fascinating. Okay, let me get you a link here in chat. Tron Ares is happening. That's the rumor, but until I know, I can't imagine it not happening now that Disney has the Tron thing happening on at Disney World. Yeah. I can't imagine them not dovetailing with Tron. Oh, sorry, everybody who's watching the all one of you who's watching the archive of this video, this podcast, if you will. I had the Twitch overlays popped up when I hovered over to click that link.
Mystery Goat says he's accepting that it's happening.
I would like to accept that it's happening. I would love to. And by the way,
I'm with you. I have to have the hard.
I gotta know. Yeah, I gotta know from Disney that it's happening, and then I'm just like, okay, now I'm jazzed.
Not that you're not a reliable source, Mystery Goat.
But
finally, somebody threw the butt in there.
But I'm poor, so what do I know? Oh God, Why do you think I have to buy everything on sale? You know, people they say, "Oh, Chris, you got this, you got that." Like, yeah, but there's a reason that I buy 3 apples for $1, right? You know, I mean, we still eat and we eat well. Trust me, we are not starving. We have plenty of food. We eat, but instead of buying, let's say, 1 apple for $3, we buy 3 apples for $1. Right? I mean, I'm not saying that 1 apple is 3, although depending on the apple, it can be pretty pricey. Hence, you know, when Toxic Doom said like a pound, like what is it, 99 cents a pound is a pretty good deal for apples right now. That are not discounted. Pretty decent deal. They're not when they go on sale where I get them. They're not as good as the ones that ultimately get marked down because of bruises and marks. I did not get there today, or did I? No, I didn't. I didn't get there because I ran out of time. I may actually, after TLDR, I may pop over to the store just to see if they had. I don't know if they'd have any that. By this time of the day, a lot of that stuff usually is. Check it out, Saints Angel taking down a plane with a gun. Did you see that?
She plays Call of Duty whenever I'm not on there.
Oh my God! She's taking out a whole freaking helicopter.
Just whenever I was talking about having friends and nobody to play with.
Taking down these freaking planes. Do not cross her. Do not cross Saints Angel.
I mean, you can boot it up real quick, Glendon.
No, it's too late.
I gotta see Saints Angel school Glendon in this.
Oh, she will school me.
My God. Do not. I'm telling you. She can she's ready to take
I never claimed that I was
good. She's ready to go melee on that. She's ready to take it down by hand.
Hand. She's taking down the airplane by hand.
Going all Arnold Schwarzenegger on this. You see this?
I'm too casual for these type of games anymore. My blood pressure goes up.
You're casual. You want to see how I played I'm like button mashing like that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with button mashing.
No, it works. It's effective.
And you know, I hope for the best. You know, if the game does not have button mashing, I'm screwed. Like there's just it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. That, you know, my daughter.
Put that on me, Mystery Goat. That's fine. Sure.
No money on Glendon. My money's on Saints Angel from this point forward. From who doesn't Royal Nomi also Call of Duty? Doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Cutie. Okay. We gotta figure out like a quote unquote VLAN party.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Sorry, I'm just chatting away, and all of a sudden I just see. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
You know, why don't they just give you like a green laser in these games? Like,
you do have a green laser.
Never mind. Just shows you how much I know. Hey, at least I know what COD is short for, okay?
You do.
Cash on demand.
Yep. Or delivery.
Yes, cash on delivery. Sorry, I screwed that up.
You sure did.
Control Z. Backspace.
Mine's Alt F4.
Never happened.
What's that, Toxic Doom?
Mine's Alt F4. Just
Alt F4. Yeah, there we go.
We're done.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how it's done. See, what else do we have for tech? I'm not sure if I'm seeing anything else. I mentioned Bridge. That was a big deal. I mentioned Amazon. That was a scroll through on these. I love this headline ticker. I love seeing it. I've got so many headlines because of this ticker.
I like the headline there that the White House is proposing a 30% tax hike on crypto users.
Oh,
on electricity.
They're not gonna like that.
On electricity.
So I was thinking about that. I don't know how they're going to effectively.
I don't either.
Attempt to do that because they might be able to say, well, your usage is higher, so we're going to assume that you're crypto mining. But I've got a home lab here at home, and it's servers running, you know, Plex and game servers, whatever. But it's not crypto mining, so I don't know if that can actually be enforced if they actually do it. Implement
it depends if they're using GPUs, because that's going to be more power hungry than those servers would be.
Yeah. But at the same time, I thought, well, maybe they'll tax it, you know, when you sell Bitcoin.
Oh, like a capital gain.
But the thing is that if they're going to bill you just for mining Bitcoin, I guess you would have to prove that you bought Bitcoin and sold Bitcoin versus mining it.
Well, don't
Yeah.
you have to anyway? Isn't that reportable income at this stage?
Yeah, when you sell it.
Yeah, it is.
So you have to.
Yeah, but
So
they're only going after the miners.
Yeah, they're talking about the miners, not the people that buy and sell.
that buy and sell.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Like, how are you going to prove? I guess you can, but it's a lot of paperwork. I feel like it's a headline that might just be put in the media, just because I don't know. I don't think that's going to go anywhere personally.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, and then you've got other states that are currently welcoming miners. I think it was Utah. There was one state that announced it today.
Oh, really? Really? See if you can dig that up. That's interesting. I don't have, honestly, that's about it, Glendon, for what I have on tech today.
Okay.
It being a Friday, and I know
Right. Yeah.
you're squeezing in some, and you may not have a lot of deals.
There wasn't a lot out there. I did manage to get a couple of good things on there. Still a little on the pricey side, some of them, but I'm
But
gonna
good
go
stuff.
ahead. Yeah, but very good stuff. Let me pull that up here. Can you pull that up for me there?
Are you not able to?
No, I'm not.
How are you not able
I'm
to?
clicking start share and it just
But
gets this
okay,
far.
look in the bottom for where the items are. You should be able to bring it up like you can bring up anybody. It just doesn't plonk.
Okay, let me look.
Miners, not miners. There's been scuttlebutt suggesting that Galaxy Quest is getting a series, which I've been waiting for since. There you go. You got it, Glendon.
Yep.
Just make sure you increase your.
Yep, I'm doing it.
percentage.
All right, that should be
Audio.
good enough to see.
Yep, we can see it. Headphones.
Okay.
But what makes these headphones awesome?
These headphones are 42% off, and they are haptic feedback headphones. I've always wanted to try a pair, never done it.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know haptic feedback.
yeah,
was
it's haptic
thing.
bass feedback.
Really?
Yeah, this is very tempting for me, and even though I have so
How
many
many
pairs
headphones
of
do you have?
headphones, you don't even want to know, honestly, how many that I have.
Yeah, I actually, literally, I do. That's
Okay,
It's
well,
gonna have a bunch of cameras here too.
there's 4 within arm's reach of me right now.
wow.
We'll put it that way.
This is a perfect time for my headset. Mine needs a new cable in.
Yeah, there you go. I'm telling you, $74.99, and Corsair has got good stuff. Of course, this is probably, outsourced. I'm sure it's not something that they've made, but it's got good reviews. Out of 131 ratings, it's 4.1 stars. 42% off plus a $10 coupon.
Wow.
So you can get it for $64.99.
That's a good deal. Haptic,
Yeah.
though, I had no idea.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense, but I genuinely had no idea that haptic feedback was a possibility with headphones.
I need to ask Buana because I think he has a pair of these also.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. He's definitely it would make sense for him to have them.
Yep. But yeah, this is very interesting and intriguing. You may have to look into this, especially with the extra $10 off.
It's pretty good. What's the total percentage off then? Almost close to 50?
Yep. Yep, it would be, well, a little over 50% then, wouldn't it?
Huh.
Math.
Do not ask me because I am not. I'm the opposite of a math genius. I'm a genius in France, but that's as far as it goes.
All right. So the next one here is a big boy. This is 40% off. It's still $17.97, but how many people out here want a big 85-inch QLED television?
I would actually go for it at a good price. I keep hoping that I can influence to be able to get a free television.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be a
That's my
race.
to be able to influence.
But yeah, this is an amazing television. It's got awesome ratings. It's an OLED. Well, it's a QLED, which means it's a quantum dot OLED television.
Damn,
85
that's a good
inch. Pardon?
Jesus, that's a great price, actually.
Yeah,
40% off?
$17.97, 40% off. Normally right at $3,000.
I kind of want to upgrade our 1080p that we've got.
Well, this is the one to do it.
No. The one I really want to, I'm holding out for a sale is the Star Wars one, like the LG.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
going
one
to
I
be
really want.
a tough one to get.
I know, but I keep hoping.
So
But
yeah,
anyway,
40% off, $17.97. This is an amazing deal for what you're getting here. Full array local dimming, which means you're going to get extremely bright brights and darks. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than if I had an extra $17.97 laying around and needed another television. It's not like I'm hurting. I've got a 70-inch OLED behind me.
I'm not hurting, but like, I have been wanting. We've got a 1080p TV. I want to say it's maybe 50-inch,
Mm-hmm.
and it's our main like den area, and
Yeah.
and I have thought about getting, because we'd have the room, right? We have a room for a bigger, a substantially bigger screen.
Yeah. So
In that room. That would be one hell of an upgrade.
Yeah, it would.
We wouldn't have it like made smart necessarily, but man,
No, you can go in and disable that.
I'd imagine.
Well, I'm just telling you, if you want it, just use our affiliate link.
I can't because it's our affiliate link.
I know. Well,
I'd
Toxic can buy it for us with our affiliate link. And
There we
you
go.
can pay
So
him
if
back.
someone else bought this for me, I'd be, so I wouldn't be.
Bought this
yeah,
for
it'd be
you.
great
Oh,
if someone else could buy this for me. Yeah, an 85-inch. Jeez, and crack.
yeah,
It was
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
it
85
would be
inch.
substantially larger. You do have me thinking as to whether, because it's, I don't have to mount anything. It just sits on top of, we've got like a mantle of sorts with, like, I've got Star Wars stuff on one
Mhm.
side, and then I'd have to do maybe a little bit of rearranging, but
And they're extremely thin. It's only 2.2 inches in depth.
well, I'd imagine it's also power efficient.
Yep.
The only thing I'd really want built in, though, I wouldn't want a quote unquote just a smart TV. I want Google TV. I'm a Google
Yeah.
TV fan. Like if they had Google TV built in, and I knew that I'd have like security updates, coming down the pike, then I'd probably be fine with it. Yeah, I'm probably better off, Mr. Goat Notes, waiting for a Best Buy, or I'm sorry, a Black Friday kind of deal.
Yep.
But yeah, that's not if I had the money to burn, and I don't.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep waiting. I'm like, well, honestly, I'm trying to think. I've only paid for one of the TVs that we have in here. I've only paid for one of the TVs we have in this house. The only one I paid for was out of a tax rebate. I needed to spend money at the end of the year for taxes. The one that I'd be looking to replace. The bedroom was a review unit. This room was a review unit from Google.
Mhm.
Original Google TV.
So
You know,
Samsung, if you're
Diana's-
listening, I need a review unit.
I don't know. They come like so few and far between. So few and far between. I'm
The
not even
largest
sure how-
8K that you
You
can
can get
get,
lucky.
Chris needs.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like you just
Right.
luck into. It's like the review, the toy boxes that I get. I'm like, I get lucky. When I get a random email from a marketer saying, "Hey, do you want X?" I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I do."
All right. The next one is another awesome find here. Again, a little on the pricey side, but for what you're getting, it is a hell of a deal. This is the brand new Asus ROG Strix, the Republic of Gamers 2023 model. 16-inch, it's a 1920 by 1200 screen. So it's a little above 1080p, 165 hertz refresh rate, RTX 4060, and a Core i7 13th gen processor, the 13650HX. 16 gigs of RAM, as you can see here, DDR5, so it's extremely fast, and a 512 gigabyte SSD. It's only 5% off, but at $1329, that is still a lot of computer for that price. Even the regular price of $1,400 is not terrible for what you're getting here. Now, granted, this is not ultra portable. This weighs about 10 pounds from what I remember reading on this earlier. So if you're looking for something that's going to last you all day long with a nice battery, this is not the one for you. So if you're looking for a desktop replacement, and here's some more specs on it if anybody is interested, then this could be a viable option for sure. Turbos up to 4.9 per gigahertz on a mobile processor. So memory speeds at 4800 megahertz.
It's a pretty stout machine.
Yeah, it's very stout for its size, and like I said, it's 10.19 pounds. It's not little, and
Nope.
you can see the dimensions here. But this would be something that I would love to have. That's a really beastly machine for anyone looking to get a pseudo desktop replacement. This could be something that you may want to look at.
And I really do like the design features that they've done recently, where they give you the thinner bezel, the bigger screen, and the webcam actually has the bump out on the top.
Yep.
I really do like that.
Yep, I do too. It's not completely over the top. It does have some RGB lighting on it, which you should expect. It's a gamer eccentric keyboard, but I like the design of it.
Mm-hmm.
All the way around, and like I said, 165 hertz refresh rate, G-Sync a regular adaptive sync, so you could use this with any FreeSync or G-Sync monitor, and it's got HDR Dolby Vision, so ticks all my boxes. So at again, $1329, if you're interested in a new laptop, that could be something that you wanted to take a look at.
Very cool.
I do have one more here to share. And I would like to have this too, but again, money. But this is a great deal on this. This is one of the grails for microphones, at least for podcasters and stuff like that. It's the Shure SM7B. Right now, 20% off. So basically saving $100. Normally $499. Right now it's $399. So if anybody out there is in the market for a good, extremely high quality microphone, this is XLR, it's not USB, so you would need an interface, a mixer or something, to accommodate the XLR, but save $100 on it right now, 20% off, $399.
That's solid.
It's very solid. Yeah. And this is, a lot of radio stations use this very microphone.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's nothing
That's legit.
to bat an eye at. It is a very solid and high performing microphone. I think that CNOOP has one. So again, if you're in the market for a new microphone, this is high quality. 20% off, save $100.
Thank you, Glendon.
You're
Appreciate
very
that.
welcome.
We'll just wrap now that the excitement's happened with those deals. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for joining, listening, tuning in. This is kind of like a 24/7 open mic, 24/7 geek out, 24/7 video game arcade. It's just an experience that I hope everyone continues to enjoy as we continue to do it. In the 5 minutes ago or whatever, the stream reset because we're at a 2-day mark. or I'm sorry, 4-day mark since the stream reset. So like my audio, everybody's audio is out of sync right now. And I'm not going to reset it to a new stream because we've got, so many participants right now. The best time to reset is when nobody's using it, which is usually like in the morning. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up if they hadn't already been wrapped up prior. Thanks, for joining in stream Toxic and Glendon. Always appreciate it because, I don't know what we're doing. I'm just having fun doing it. And so I'm just going to continue to do it. So thank you. Anybody else can feel free to join in on the festivities 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. See you later.